Welcome to the Everything Podcast. This episode, I'm going to be doing an update on the future of Doctor Who with reading a press release as well. Obviously, this being the June 2026 update, as I'm recording this episode on Friday the 12th of June 2026. Now, this news has probably been announced. You've probably read it by now because it's been out, 2 days since it was announced. It's just with work and other things and visiting family and life. It's just taken me a couple of days, which to me is normal. And if you've listened or watched the podcast for any length of time, you will have known that. Let's read the press release, which is titled "An update on the future of Doctor Who was announced on the 10th of June 2026. Obviously, the day I'm recording this episode is the 12th. And here's what it says. Today we're announcing an update on plans for the future of Doctor Who as part of securing the next phase of the show for future generations, and in line with the BBC's charter and agreement requirements, the BBC will put Doctor Who out to competitive tender this year. Doctor Who remains an important part of the BBC, and this tender underpins the BBC's continued commitment to Doctor Who, ensuring audiences will enjoy the show for years to come. After careful consideration, the BBC, Russell T Davies and Bad Wolf have collectively decided not to go ahead with the previously announced Doctor Who Christmas episode. This decision was not taken lightly, and we know it will be disappointing for fans, but in order to set the show up for future series, it was decided that rather than bridge the gap with a one-off special, we're choosing to push forward to invest in the long-term future of the show, which ensures that when the TARDIS lands once more, it does so in all its glory. The previously announced new Doctor Who animation series for CBeebies is currently in production. Details of the tender will be announced in due course. And the BBC retains all IP in Doctor Who. BBC Studios will continue to lead the global distribution of Doctor Who, as well as licensing consumer products, digital and immersive experiences on behalf of the BBC. So that's what the press release says. So before we go into being very pessimistic, which I'm going to try not to, what do we know? So we know that there will be more Doctor Who at some point. We know that Bad Wolf and Russell T Davies have left Doctor Who, and the Russell T Davies is no longer the showrunner, and Bad Wolf is no longer the producing company. And we know that the Doctor Who 2026 Christmas special, which was announced, I think, all the way back in October 2025, is no longer going ahead. Instead, kind of the plan is so instead of kind of doing that and then kind of focusing on where it's going ahead, kind of it's all throttle forward, which is interesting, a decision, because on the radio, I think last week, Russell T Davies kind of alluded that there was a press release going through the BBC about the future of Doctor Who, of doctors and stuff. So it was like, well, what are we... Right. And it seems to be that all the kind of the big companies that journalists that write articles and stuff have said kind of we're looking probably 2028 at the earliest for TV Doctor Who. Make that clear, because just because there's no TV Doctor Who, that doesn't affect Big Finish or the comics. And obviously we've got kind of Circuit Breaker running from June to September 2026, which we'll be recapping, which follows The Fugitive Doctor. I have actually purchased a couple of the other bits, all the bits really that I could find. There's that. So we'll see how that happens. This was kind of, it did seem to be out of nowhere. It wasn't like, oh, by the way, it was the last thing we knew, because it was around Wednesday lunchtime. I think it'd been out for an hour and I'd just not looked at my phone because I wasn't working that day. And then it was a bombshell. It was like, right, what's happening now? But basically, I think the plan is so they can get more Doctor Who, because yes, we could have had the 2026 Christmas special, which could have wrapped up everything. But then it was like, would it have been 2029, 2030 we were looking at the next one, whereas get rid of that episode, or don't even make it, as it turns out, and then we kind of can focus on the future, which I think lots of Doctor Who fans are kind of stressing that we're going back to how it was in 1989 when the show was cancelled. Now, the BBC is not cancelling Doctor Who, we know that. They just have not got a showrunner or a co-producer at the moment, or a streaming company. But the Doctor Who Series 1, Series 13 of the Monday is now available on ABC Plus in the US, and that's good news. If you're in the UK, it's all on BBC iPlayer. On obviously the last couple of years, so from the 60th anniversary specials to the Reality War, is available on Disney Plus worldwide as well. So yeah, the kind of it isn't that bad, and obviously Big Finish will be keep so that kind of Doctor Who wise on the channel, especially for the next couple of months, is definitely that will be the excuse me. That will be the focus, but obviously any news around the TV show I will talk about. So let me know what you thought of the Future of Doctor Who press release from the BBC, what you thought of it, what you think will happen regarding the tender, where basically means there will be a production company that will get Doctor Who at some point, so we'll just have to wait and see basically, and see what happens there. But without further ado, I will see you in the future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.